We are your home of independent, fearless, and credible journalism. Thanks for choosing us. Now we start with the Electoral Commission because they have officially announced a list of candidates for the 2024 presidential election following the completion of the nomination process held from September 9th to 13th. After a thorough examination of the nomination forms, 13 candidates, including Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia of the New Patriotic Party, John Dramani Mahama of the National Democratic Congress, and independent candidate Alan Tremanting, have been cleared to contest. Disqualified applicants include Bernard Mona of the People's National Convention, independent candidate Dr. Sam Ankra, and 9 others. On your screens now is a statement from the Electoral Commission, and it just gives us an overview of the independent candidates and the presidential aspirants. So on your screens now, there you have it, 13 presidential aspirants approved. Mahmoud Bawumia of the New Patriotic Party, John Mahama of the NDC, Alan John Tremanting, an independent candidate, Christian Andrews of the Ghana Union Movement with his GUM Party, Daniel Latte Jr., Great Consolidated Party, George Abu, an independent candidate, Nana Kwame Bediako of the New Force, filed as an independent candidate, Ekuya Donko of the Freedom Party. And also the All People's Congress, Hassan Ayariga, Kofi Akpalu of the Liberal Party of Ghana, Mohamed Frimpong of the National Democratic Party, Nana Akosua Frimpong of the Convention People's Party, Kofi Kranting, he filed as an independent candidate. So there you have it, the EC declaring that indeed these individuals have been cleared to contest for the presidential elections. Now, one of the presidential candidates that have sailed through the rigorous vetting process of the EC's flag bearer of the All People's Congress, Dr. Hassan Ayariga, and he's urging Ghanaians to vote for his party in the upcoming December election, stating that a vote for the 2 major political parties, the NDC and the NPP, is an endorsement of corruption and poor governance. Thankfully, he joins me in the studio. Thank you for your time here on the Election Brief.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm good. Congratulations, first of
all.
Thank you. The EC initially reached out to you. Yes. They had some concerns. What were the key concerns they had before they put out this final need?
I think we filed on Monday. The next day, Tuesday, we got a letter from the EC indicating that one of our endorsed candidates, that is from Ward Central, the polling station code number was wrong. Apparently, the lady herself wrote her name, and instead of writing 4, she, you know, that kind of sign with a 2 and then 1 to make it 4.
I see.
So it looked like 21 instead of 4. So they called us to rectify it, and then we called her, and she said it was a 4 and not a 21.
Okay.
So we then at least corrected it and then sent it back.
That was the only issue they spotted? That was the only issue,
yes.
So you're spot on this time?
Yes.
And
we have always been spot on.
You're confident of winning the elections?
Yes.
What makes you so confident? Have you done enough groundwork?
A lot.
Enough?
Enough. It might not be on social media or many platforms, but one-on-one with the people, it's a lot of work. And it's sad that you go around, you go to the people, and all they demand from you is money. They tell you the economy is hard, the situation is bad, and you believe it. I mean, looking at it, you yourself, you know that the economic situation is hard. People are suffering. The hardship is real, and we all know. So when you get to them, especially the youth, they just say, oh, Your Excellency, Majestica, give us money, we'll vote for you, give us money. I feel sad that at this era of ours, that people have to beg for money before they vote for you. People have to ask for money before they vote for you. This is not the Ghana we all want it to be. I mean, we want a Ghana that everybody is independent, financially independent, economically independent. We don't want a Ghana where people must be suffering and begging just for 20, 30 Ghana cities, or even 10 cities. It's sad. So, and I tell them, look behind, look back 8 years ago, and now and see whether your life has changed. If your life hasn't changed, why then are you voting NDC and voting MPP? Because that's their leadership is what is making us get to where we are. Their bad leadership is why we are where we are.
So when you get to the grounds and you're engaging people, you get the sense that they want money from you? Are they demanding money from you?
They want change, but they are suffering. They want money. I mean, sometimes you see people and you can tell that the whole day the person hasn't eaten.
How do you fund your campaign?
I mean, the little resources we gather from ourselves and the ones I have, we add up. We have party supporters. They help us to run the campaign.
How much have you spent so far on
That
the
I can
campaign
tell.
trail?
That I can tell you.
Why? Give us a figure.
I
Thousands?
can't.
Close to $1 million?
I can't.
Why?
Look,
so that we can appreciate
in 2013, in
the groundwork you're doing.
2023,
Yeah.
you see those mini billboards? We put over 500,000 pieces across the country in 2013. And those boards are costing 200 Ghana cedis, those small ones. So you can multiply that alone and see. And then you look at the cost involved in the people who go around and put them in various communities, electric poles, and people's homes. It's a lot of money.
A lot of money, which we are interested in finding out, because Ghanaians expect you to run a transparent government should you be elected president.
Yes.
So how do we trust you if you can't tell us how much you're spending now?
When I was coming here, if you had told me to give you a budget of how much I've spent so far, I would have given you that calculation. But I don't have that figures with me. But I know we've spent a lot of money, and we need more money. So we are appealing. Anybody who wants to support the APC, if you are listening or watching, we are always available for you to support us.
And individuals are ready to support, but we just want to know, just a rough figure. Have you spent close to $1 million so far on your campaign trail, Ghana cedis?
Oh, it's more than that. Million cedis, even the bill was 500,000 times 200 Ghana cedis. It's $1 million.
Interesting. So let's get into your manifesto, because I know you have a lot, so you're promising Ghanaians to change their fortunes. Let's start with education. What would Hassan Ayariga do?
We intend to change curriculum of education, abolish the double track system, and introduce the shift system.
Okay.
Because we believe in the 24-hour economy. The 24-hour economy, the double track system should be abolished, and then whilst we're doing 24-hour economy process, schools should also be running this kind of two-shift system. The day students who go in the morning, have classes and close, and those who are boarders will start around 2 p.m. and close 8 p.m. So that's the shift system. And I've been campaigning for the shift system for a very long time when they introduced this double track system. I said, there's no need to have some students go this and then stay 3 months at home, the others will come and stay. I mean, it doesn't make sense. Why don't we introduce a shift system? A shift system is what will allow all students to participate in their normal classes on daily basis without others have to stay home. Then we need to change the curriculum of education, shifting it from the normal traditional way of learning, writing exams and passing. We need to add STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And then build our students to fit into our society. The kind of students we're going to train, we have to train them to fit in the society we want them to be, not the normal system of passing exams and coming out and then you become a burden to the society. We don't want that. So we will change the curriculum of education and make it more creative and innovative. Because over the years, our students, when they come out of school, they go around looking for jobs. They're supposed to come out of school and create jobs. And you train a mechanic to be a master. You don't train a mechanic to go now looking for a job. So if we are training mechanics, hairdressers, and they are able to build themselves after training, how come we are training students and they come out and become a burden to us? So this is our policy.
You want to eradicate the double track system, but introduce a shift system. I'm quite interested in how different this will run and how you plan to enhance infrastructure in the educational sector.
You're not even going to increase so much of the infrastructure. You're going to use the existing infrastructure. The only difference is that some will come in the morning and close. So for instance, we're going to put the system in such a way that students will now be categorized into two groups.
Okay.
Day students. Those people who live around the school, maybe 15 kilometers around, let's say, Achimota. Those students who live between 15 kilometers are going to be day students.
Okay.
And these day students will come to class from 7 o'clock in the morning and close 2 p.m. Now, those who are boarders who come from various communities, big towns and far distance, they will be boarders. So they are in school. Whilst the day students are in class, they will be at their dormitories resting and having their homework and their whatever they have to do. And then after they close 2 p.m., they start their classes from 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. So after 8 p.m., they will stay in school because they are not going anywhere. So that is the shift system.
Let's talk about agriculture. One issue we're dealing with currently is illegal mining and how it's impacting our output when it comes to cocoa production. How do you plan to deal with it effectively?
The illegal mining?
Yeah.
For me and the APC, we believe that Ghana's sovereignty includes our mining deposit, our oil, our diamonds, our bauxite, and everything. In the 60s and 70s, Ghana was mining as the state Ghana. And we had what we call gold reserve in abundance. And that's why Ghana was called Gold Coast. Around the 70s, 80s, some group of individual Ghanaians decided to change the narratives and brought in investors to come and mine our gold instead of the state mining. So we lost that revenue that was coming out of mining, government mining. So now people, businessmen, politicians, I don't want to mention their names, became the sole mining company that they brought in Anglican Gold, AgriGold, and all those gold companies. And they started mining and were taking huge sums of our resources away.
So you want to localize the mining
So for
sector?
me, I am going to mine it. No galamsey,
okay.
no large-scale mining, no small-scale mining. And then we'll make audit. We have audit into the mining sector to find a system where Ghana will begin to mine its own gold.
For how long would this ban be for?
The ban is for life. We're banning galamsey. I mean, that is not their resources, that's government resources. We cannot sit down and allow companies to come into our country with the name of PPP to take our wealth, what is supposed to be our sovereignty, what is supposed to be revenue coming to us. It's being taken away from us. Okay. Why do we do that? There are things that we can...
There's a thin line between illegal mining and small-scale mining and large-scale mining. Are you saying you're banning all forms of mining? Is that the case?
That's what I'm telling you. The only institution that will mine under my government will be the state. Because we need to hold forth our resources and not allow foreigners to take it away in the name called PPP or in the name called large-scale mining or small-scale mining. Government is losing almost everything. The oil is gone. Companies are coming and taking away, and we don't have our sovereignty anymore. Gold is going. Bauxite is gone. Lithium is gone. What is the state getting from all this? Royalties of 10%, 5%? And compare the royalties that we are getting to the destruction that is being caused to the Ghanaian communities. It is being caused to the Ghanaians' lives, the number of lives we are losing on earth every day, the farmland that we are losing, okay, the cocoa trees that we are losing. Compare that to the 10% royalties that we are getting from PPP.
But
doesn't make sense to you.
Mineral resources actually helps us stabilize the economy. Your foreign exchange, for example, government is implementing the gold for oil deal, which they say has been able to help stabilize our local currency.
Government is.
So if you're now banning all forms of mining, what then happens to our natural resources?
I'm banning all forms of mining. That's what I do.
Where will you get the revenue from to run government without money?
When we sell those gold, we're getting revenue.
But
now, it is not going. No. That's what I'm saying. I'm banning large-scale mining, small-scale mining, galamsey, and government will be the only institution to mine. That's what I'm saying. So when you ban it, they cannot do it anymore. Now the state will be mining it. Are you getting what I'm saying? And we'll put institutions and train mining workers that will now work for the government of Ghana. And our revenue will now increase. Instead of getting 10%, we're not getting 10%, we're getting 100%. And instead of destroying our water body, we will not destroy our water body because we ourselves love our city, so we'll know how to mine. We'll find modern mechanisms of mining properly.
But at the heart of this is capacity. The question is, does Ghana have the capacity? Does the state have the capacity to mine on its own without help from foreign individuals?
Are you kidding me?
Do we have capacity?
Are you kidding me? That PPP, people can borrow money and come to... when you see all these white people come to this country, they say they bring in money. They don't bring anything. They come to this country and get finances from our banks. So if we can have banks that can finance all these businessmen to mine, why can't we do it directly? Why are we allowing them to take? Look, you can go to Dubai, Kuwait, and have their oil, and so you are doing PPP. Nobody does that. Nobody. Nobody will do that with you. It is your sovereignty. This is what is yours. And you must take control of it. You must begin to understand that to become financially and economically independent, you must make good use of your own resources available to you. You shouldn't let someone take it and then get money. Look at the distraction. How much do we get from the royalties from mining, from bauxite, from gold? Less than 10%. Like I said, the distraction is more. It's costing us so much as compared to the royalties we get. So for me as president, I will create fund for the government to be able to mine. How much does it take to mine? The equipment. You don't need gold to mine gold. You need equipment and fuel and workers to mine gold. How much is it going to cost Ghana? We spend so much on corruption, wastage, mismanagement, and yet only mining. We don't have the resources. I will make sure there is revenue coming from Ghana, from all taxes, companies that are going. I am going to. My first policy is always number one for me, change of mindset. And number two, Ghana and Ghanaian first. These policies will increase productivity in this country, will train our young men and women to take control of their own wealth and resources.
How do you plan to boost Ghana's agri sector?
You know, we import over $1.2 billion of rice every year. Import almost $800 million of cooking oil, about $700 million of fresh tomatoes and canned tomatoes. And yet, we keep complaining about food security. We have farmlands that we are not tapping into it and making good use of it. We have the youth out there who are looking for jobs, and we are not making good use of these young men. We have mechanical equipment, machineries, tractors, combined harvesters, name it. We park them by the roadside and says government properties, and we're not making good use of this. Go to the assemblies. They have all these tractors lying out there. And what do? Nothing. Go to the Ministry of Agri. You see over thousands of tractors lying, parked there, doing nothing. I will make good use of these tractors to produce rice in abundance in this country under my economic lockdown policy. I'm going to lock down this economy for 1 year. And when I lock down this economy for 1 year, we become a production hub, a manufacturing hub, and an industrial hub. Doing it so I will increase productivity by running the 24-hour economy, making sure that Ghanaians work 3-shift system, 8 hours for production, 8 hours for manufacturing, and 8 hours for industrialization. And the city be vibrant 24 hours. So that we stop importing rice, we stop importing cooking oil. Look at the things we can use to do cooking oil. Granules, palm oil, shea butter, coconut, soya bean. All these things can be used to extract oil. Yet we import over $800 million of oil. And we say that we are underemployed. Of course, when we don't make good use of our natural resources and the human resource, definitely we'll be sleeping like we are doing. 8 hours working and 16 hours we are sleeping.
So you agree with the NDC, the 24-hour economy is the way to go?
NDC adapted it from me,
Okay.
so it's
agree?
okay.
Interesting.
It's
As we
okay.
wrap up the conversation, though, I'm quite interested in the groundwork because that is what will translate into votes. There are thoughts by different research groups that this election coming December would travel to second round because there will be tight competition and there will be a runoff. What's Hassan Ayariga's take on this?
I also agree with those statistics and research because the problem is that there's going to be huge voter apathy.
Okay.
And many Ghanaians do not want to vote NDC or NPP.
And they'll vote for you.
And that's what is going to create the voter apathy.
Okay.
It's going to increase. So it is now left with the other 9 political parties, or is it 11? We are 13.
Yeah.
So the 11 political parties must make good use of these numbers. That's over 7 million Ghanaians. And these Ghanaians, over 7 million Ghanaians, must also make good use of the 11 presidential candidates to say, look, even if I'm not voting for NDC and I'm not voting for MPP, Hassan Ayariga is there. I might as well vote for Hassan Ayariga. Even if he's not winning, let me vote for him and see. So that we get that 7 million Ghanaians to vote for Hassan Ayariga, and they will see that we have one touch. We don't even have to go second round.
I see. And that's how you plan to win?
That's how I plan to win. Very simple.
Interesting. Hassan Ayariga is my guest today on Election Brief, and he's been sharing his thoughts with us on how he plans to win the upcoming election. Well, on the polls, we'll be engaging other 13 presidential aspirants that have sailed through the vetting process of the Electoral Commission. Let's do some other stories now. The running mate of Movement for Change, Kwame Owusu-Danso, has urged Ghanaians to reject both the NPP and the NDC. He accused both major political parties of years of economic mismanagement, which he says has left the country struggling with high inflation, unemployment, and a widening gap between the rich and poor. In his appeal to voters during his official unveiling, Danso stressed that the Movement for Change represents a new way forward and will deliver the economic reforms necessary to improve the lives of ordinary Ghanaians.
And with huge titles who have never failed to disappoint whenever they are given the opportunity to rule our dear nation. Take, for instance, the current Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, who is interestingly seeking to lead this nation come January 2025. Dr. Bawumia, the highly touted economic wizkid, was introduced to us as a man who had the answers and the magic wand to bring discipline and structure to our ailing economy in 2016. He came with all the titles armed with technical jargons and economic axioms that the ordinary Ghanaian, me, and you had never heard before. Top of his priority was a stable economy and stable city, a migration of the Ghanaian economy from taxation to production. But what do we see today? A city in free fall. Prices of basic commodities skyrocketing beyond the reach of average Ghanaian, and an economy teetering on the brink of collapse. Today, the same economic wizkid under whose leadership as head of Ghana's economic team for 8 years, plunging this country into an abyss, is seeking to become the president while telling us it is possible. The question then becomes, what is possible? Under the late Professor John Evans Atamils, Ghana's economy saw some impressive growth, bolstered by oil revenue, achieving a growth rate of 14.3%. However, after his passing, the economy deteriorated under former President John Dramani Mahama, who, facing some challenges to the country, to the IMF, when growth had plummeted to 3.4%. This led to Ghanaians rejecting his bid for a second term. Unfortunately, in the last decade, the economic situation has worsened, with macroeconomic indicators deteriorating further under the leadership of President Nana and Vice President Bawumia, pushing the country into deeper economic distress. Listen, Ghana's economy is in turmoil. Today, basic commodities such as food and fuel have become luxuries for many households.
Away from the Movement for Change, the opposition National Democratic Congress in Ejura-Sekyedumase constituency is aiming for a remarkable surplus of 20,000 votes in the upcoming general election, citing better policies and past achievements to support the goal. The Member of Parliament for the area, Alhaji Muhammad Bawa Brima, believes the NDC has become more appealing to voters, who he expects will return and vote for them in large numbers. He was addressing the media during his campaign launch in Ejura.
The campaign launch of the NDC in the Ejura-Sekyedumase constituency attracted various speakers as well as Ashanti regional executives of the party. They stressed the importance of voting for the NDC flag bearer, John Dramani Mahama, to ensure better economic management for Ghanaians. MP for Ejura-Sekyedumase Alhaji Muhammad Bawa Brima says the NDC aims to win the Ejura-Sekyedumase seat by a margin of 20,000 votes.
I think in 2020 there was a vote difference of about 5,000 and a few figures on it. But this time around we are poised and we've set a target. And the target is that we're going to give the MPP a difference of 20,000 in this constituency come December 7th. I'm not just saying for nothing. This is based on scientific research.
Alhaji Brima is calling on residents to support the party in the upcoming December election.
And our people are impressed with our performance, and so have assured us that they're going to return the NDC to power come 2024 general elections.
Party members and supporters at the campaign launch say their voting decisions will be influenced by the current economic conditions.
Inflation is taking away the country. Inflation is taking away the society. We are dying of inflation. Women cannot go more to market. We hardly go to market. Items are higher. We can't import our goods due to inflation. We can't pay our duties at the harbour.
Ghana's current governance has made life challenging. Prices fluctuate excessively. An item costing 2,000 cedis today will cost 4,000 cedis tomorrow. It's therefore important we replace the current government.
A member of the NDC in Ejura, Abdul Razak, is confident the party will win power, asserting that change will definitely come in December.
Ghana needs change. Change is coming. Change is for us, and we are going to experience change.
A report by Mohamed Nuruddin.
Well, that's it for Election Brief. For more news, please log on to myjoyonline.com. My name is Faustina Safo. Good afternoon.